I got something for the Yama boys. Hello and welcome, dear skill modelers, to my small hobby YouTube channel. My name is Tomo and today we're gonna be taking a look at a tank. This YouTube channel is dedicated to scale model reviews, builds, and tutorials. If you're like me and you like scale models, then this is the channel for you. Today's model on review is going to be a 1/35th scale Tiger Tank 1 from Ryefield Models. Ryefield, what? Ryefield Models. What? Ryefield Models is a relatively new company and it's probably not that well known, especially not here in Slovenia, I think. But if you don't know who they are, let me tell you. If you go to a Google search and ask Mr. Google, who is Ryefield Models? R-F-E-L-D Models. See, I got it already. And you go to the first link, you can see that the page loads up. Yes, it's all in Chinese, I believe. And if you go to their products page, you can see that they're mainly World War II, modern, and workable track. They have, something, but they're mostly armor guys. Their repertoire of tanks is not that huge. They have like some Tigers and Yak Panthers and Shermans and this little beetle thingy, but they certainly don't have a lot of them. And when you go to the modern page, there's even less of them. But nevertheless, they're basically armor guys, and and they also have this little workable track links. By the way, they're not a sponsor. I just like the page because I find them intriguing. But anyway, when I try to find out who they are and go to About Us, ta-da! Thank you for visiting Ryefield Models. Yes, very informative. But you can see that they're a very young company, 5 years, from 2014 to 2019, so that's that. And if you want to have some support, you basically just write them a mail, but I'm not going to do that. So anyway, that's all about Ryefield Models, so back to me. Okay, so the introduction out of the way, let's take a look at the tank. Hello! This much anticipated 35th scale beast was released this year. It has over 500 parts. It is a full interior tank that can be displayed in one of two ways: fully covered or semi-covered. It has a transparent turret and top cover. It can be painted in one of two paint schemes: the first SS Panzer Division from 1943 or as a winter camouflage from 1944. The reason for the huge amount of parts is that you have to assemble all the tracks yourself, and I mean every single thing, every single track. The quality of the sprues is adequate, but for the price range is a little bit lacking. You can probably find this model at your local hobby shop for around 75 euros with tax. Yes, 75 euros. And for 75 euros, you would expect the quality to be really up there, but it's just a little bit lower. What exactly I mean by that, you will see in the upcoming review. Behold, the Tiger 1 with full interior and clear parts of the hull and turret. This is a very, very thick, big box with beautiful graphics. It's from the company Ryefield Models, and I think it's just time to open this baby up and see what's inside. Holy smokes, the box is absolutely filled in, quite tightly packed. And right off the bat, the first thing that you see is the top portion of the tank with a turret, where you can display it in clear, where all the guts of the tank are exposed. So if you go to all that trouble of detailing it from the inside, it would be a waste not to show it. And then we have loads and loads and loads and loads and, oh my god, even loads and loads of stuff. So let me break this down out for you and we'll come back. So these clear parts sprue are protected with this special plastic, which is in extra layer protection when it's inside its bag. And I don't want to take it off because this is a shop kit and will be sold eventually. But let me just tell you that these clear parts are just the business. They're very clear. I mean, this is just phenomenal how clear these parts are, and they're full of detail, just like on the surface that you'll see later on. They're packed with detail, with all the vents, with all the welding on the edges. You can see, if I take you close, you can see all the little details if you don't have enough reflection. But it's not short of detail, so that's a good thing. There is a lot of sprues for us to get through, and I don't want to waste time by making this video too long, so I decided to just show you guys the sprues from its bags, from within the bags, because it's gonna be much easier for me to do this. So I'll take you closer to the more interesting spots, such as this turret mounting here, with all the little, you can see the teeth where the turret rotates, and you have the front where the nozzle comes out, and then you have some other pieces. I mean, the detail on the kit is substantial, I must say. The parts are made in a very good plastic. They're solid plastic. It doesn't feel cheap. It's basically very similar to Tamiya type of plastic. At least that's how it feels from the outside anyway. And it is packed with detail. Look at that. If I take it close, you can see the little marks on top and the welding points. See little welds. It does have its own little faults. For a kit this expensive, you would expect this to be a little bit more controlled when it's made, but you can just see here that yeah, some of the parts are a little bit crappy, but you know, what you gonna do. Here we have the next big ass piece of sprue, which contains all the little intricate detail and pieces of the tank assembly, and it's really just an eye candy to look at all these things. This is a project for many months. I don't believe that you can do this in a week. Even have some water bottles here. Look at that. See? That's so interesting. I think this might actually be a jack of some sort. But if you go close, again, if you go a little closer, if I take you a little closer, you can see on the edges here, it's a little bit crappy. So some edges will need to be tidied up prior to painting. But overall, it is pretty good. Pretty good. This is the third sprue, and this is some engine. This is the engine bay and the engine, of course. Some ducts. This might be actually a reservoir of some sort. I'm not really sure, but yeah. Full of nice little intricate pieces. They're much bigger here. Still, it feels really nice and sturdy. You know, the plastic is good. And you can even see on the bottom, they didn't skimp out on the bottom detail. You can see here. Although, now that I say this, see, you see here on the top where the propellers are, see, there's a little bit of flash that's stuck in. So that is a little bit disappointing, especially for a kid this price range. And we have a smaller sprue, which contains the outside pieces, the skirts. This is like a skirt. The vents, or the little mounting point, and the cables. I believe the tow cables are here. And although you do get some copper wire to go with this, so. And they have the driving sprockets, the driving wheels. Yeah, okay. This might be the transmission housing. Yeah, probably it is. Have a little seat here. It's huge detail. Look at that on the bottom. That's all raised detail, by the way. See? Really nice. I know it's kind of shiny and glary, but bear with me. And see here on the seat, again, if you look inside, right in this little edge hole, you can see that there's a little bit of a boo-boo. On the outside, on the back side, you can see the little fill. So you will need to tighten this up before you put it inside the tank. The torsion bars here, these are, again, it needs to be tidied up a little bit. See on the edges here, you can just see on the camera, I believe so, the edges that are nasty. but it's not that bad. I mean, to be honest, I still like the kit. It's still an eye catch, certainly with lots of detail. They really went to great lengths to reproduce this. It's just that, you know, some of these little details do kind of worry me. And here we have another one, the big ones, the cover. Again, this detail that you see here is the same as on the clear sprues, if you choose to display it in this fashion, because you know, it's a tank. So yeah, we got lots of pipes and equipment and hoses. And look at those little wires here. It's really cool. It's really nice and neat. Okay, so then we have the little outside tools and machine guns here, and the level of detail. Look at it. Let me take you closer. You can see the level of detail. If it's not going to be shiny too much, it's just phenomenal. The little tools and shovels and axes. Really crammed in. Yeah. Canteens. Yeah, this is just basically like Tamiya type of plastic. Yeah, if you've built Tamiya's kits before, this is basically Tamiya, but the quality is a little bit lacking. I'm guessing they're kind of still in the process of learning how to make injected mold parts. And then we have two sprues that contain all the wheels and of course the arsenal. I will take a quick close look at the arsenal. You got the little shells, individual shells. It's pretty nice, and there's lots of them. I didn't even know that they had so many shells in this little tank. I guess they had to, since it was on a Russian front too, and it needed to fire upon Russians. Cool. And then we have like the little wheels that are just you know, wheels that you assemble. If you're wondering what kind of body it has, well, it has a tub body. Look at that. One big molded piece, tub style design with loads and loads and loads of detail. Look at that. If I take you closer, you can see all the little welds here. My finger's dirty because I was painting. All right, so the tub, yeah, it's just phenomenal. Look at that. Beautiful. And we have, oh lord, tracks. So yeah, you have to assemble the tracks, all of them, and they're in separate bags, and there are great many of them. And here are the pins for the tracks. So that's just a lot of work. That's probably the biggest turnoff for me for something like this. I mean, it's cool. It's really nice to have such detail, but for tracks, oh lord. Oh lord. Yeah, there's many tracks here. Okay, so the last thing on the list is of course this, and I think this is gonna be, I'll take this out of the bag in just a moment. So these are the accessories that you get with the kit. As you can see, we have the copper wire here that will represent the towing rope. And you have some clear parts again that are all the glass pieces in the cupola, I believe. And we got some photo etch parts here, here, and here. There are a great many of them. So again, there's loads of detail. There's really so much detail. Look at that. It is just awesomeness. And of course we have very simple decals, since the Tiger tank was not that fanciful in the first place. So yeah, we got various details. The last thing that we can show is the color scheme for the Tiger tank. Of course, MIG apparently is the way to go here. You have the breakdown, all the colors, and of course the early production, and you can the paint scheme. I mean, it's a really cool paint scheme. It's badass. I really love it. And then we have the interior, how you paint and detail it. It's in color, it's really cool. It's a computer generated image, but it's still really cool. And on the back you can do the winter camouflage, which is even better looking if you want to weather the hell out of it. So that is just an awesome thing. And you get just the parts list so that you know where stuff goes and how stuff fits. And of course we have the all-important manual, which is a bit thick. A nice little tiger tank on the front. And of course it is colored. And that was the tank. What are your thoughts on this kit? Do you like it? Will you build it? Do you have it? How well does it go together? Tell me in the comments below. For now, I would like to thank you so very much for watching if you have been. Thank you for liking, commenting and subscribing. And I'll see you again soon in the wonderful world of models very soon. Bye bye.